Hey. So, I obviously don't do these things a lot. I've probably never done this before. I don't give a crap what I look like, so deal with it. Um, so something happened today at school that spoke to me on such strong volumes that I feel like I needed to share it with all of you, and that a text post is not a good enough substitute to describe the level of emotion and the level of depth that happened, that was like happening today. And excuse my words, like, there's a lot going through my mind right now. I might not be the most eloquent or coherent, but right now in this winter quarter of 2019 at Central, I am in a intro to queer studies class. I'm a women and gender and sexuality studies major, so I like that kind of stuff. My professor is wonderful. My professor is absolutely awesome. I'm going to use a lot of they them pronouns to hide their identity because they aren't sure what they're going to do yet about this situation. They're still processing what has happened. Um, and that's fair, especially because like a lot of this is pretty big. But they are fine with their students sharing about what happened and talking about it. But I am going to hide the gender and I'm going to hide a lot of the details. But I will share that they are in a same sex marriage and that they have a daughter. And they are one of my inspirations right now. They're an amazing person. I really enjoy their class. Um, and they're a great they're a great professor to learn from. Well, this week they received a package on their doorstep with three dead animals in it, and they reported this to the police because that's freaky, duh. And the police notified them of a letter that was written to them 4 months ago that was laced with a lot of homophobic and sexist remarks. This letter was written through, I'm not entirely sure how they worded it, but it was written through a communication way, but it was anonymous. But it's known that only colleagues and professors can write to each other. And that's the kicker, is that someone else who is a professor at Central wrote this to my professor. They wrote hate mail to them 4 months ago. And my professor was away. My professor was at a trip, so their assistant saw this. And the assistant was like, "Oh my god, this is hate mail." And so the assistant gave it to the police, and there was a minor investigation. Their boss saw it, and the boss thought it wasn't necessary to give to them or to notify them about this hate mail because they didn't think it was of great importance. That shocks the hell out of me because obviously they're not a minority group, because they don't understand the level of danger that's going on there. And now my professor's being sent dead animals. I don't know if there's any correlation between those. We all don't know if there's any correlation between those two. But if there is, the person who sent the hate mail might know where they live. And my professor didn't even get out the fact that they had been sent hate mail without bursting into tears. I cannot tell you how long I sat there in shock, how long I sat there numb and angry and upset because this was handled so poorly. Like, they didn't even get the letter themselves. The chief of police had to read the letter to them because, like, because it, I guess it's considered hate crime, so now it's withheld information. That's technically their letter, but like they can't have it now. And it was very awkward. You have to hear all of like what was the contents of the letter, like, and now this week they're like learning all of this information. And we had a discussion about that, and as students we rallied behind them and we were like, no, we're here for you. We cannot understand the level of fear you're going through, but we understand that we are angry, we are upset, and we will do what we can as students to draw attention to this. As a student, and as the aggressive person I am, I'm pretty sure some of you know, I'm going to draw attention to it and I'm going to talk about it. I am disappointed with how Central Washington University has handled this. Of course, I'm not naming names, but I am disgusted that they are going to try to sweep this under the rug, especially with how they handled the false alarm shooter. Like, there's been a lot of backlash because of that. There's been a lot of information swirling around, and we all know as students how that went. Like, that didn't go very well, now did it? But, it sickens me even more that they tried to protect the identity of someone who is going around doing hate crimes and allowing homophobic, sexist things to be said and did not take immediate alarm to it. I am disgusted that there are colleagues who knew that this was going on and did not do anything to notify my professor that they might be in danger or that someone out there is thinking and feeling these things. Like, honestly, fuck your freedom of speech if it endangers or hurts other people. I'm sorry. I don't care. I am a strong supporter of the LGBTQ community, and I honestly don't care if you support either side. But the minute that it starts hurting people and possibly putting them in danger, I don't care about your freedom of speech. I don't care about it at all. I really don't. To see such a strong and bold person break down crying in front of me, to see them stripped of their power because someone decided to anonymously bring their hatred to them, that's not your freedom of speech. That's a coward speaking. It's disgusting and it's wrong. And I feel like Central needs to get its shit together and do something about things like this that happen. There should have been better protocol on this. There should have been better communication. There should have been such better things going on than telling someone 4 months later, hey, by the way, those dead animals might be connected to this hate letter that was written about you. It shocks me, but also doesn't shock me to this day how colleges are handling communication about things that really shouldn't have bad communication. We can draw parallels to the shooter situation, everyone. I mean, all of us had all our different, sides of what was going on, and then it ends up being a false reporter, and then Gaudino was like, da-da-da-da-da, it was like a false report, and then everyone was like, but what about this, but what about that? Come on, we shouldn't be communicating like that. We deserve a safe environment, especially on a campus that says that it is the best and number one in diversity, especially LGBTQ. We deserve better than this. Cebu needs to get it together. I moved away from a school that definitely made me feel unsafe, and now I'm moving into a school that's starting to make me feel like that even more and more. Just get it together, guys. Seriously. You should not be doing this, especially to your own faculty. Before they are faculty, they are human beings. Seriously. I'm disgusted. I'm disappointed. So just... I am astounded by how that was handled. I constantly send good vibes to my professor, who I know deserves better. And this may just be a vent, I don't care. Or this might be shared around, it might go viral. Oh, sweet, I'll become a meme. I don't care. But either way, colleges need to get it together. And that's like my 2 cents.